Hi y'all, I'm Megan. Welcome to my first ever Flosstube video. Woo! So I figured the best way to start out the video was just to do the questions from the tag Know Your Needleworker. So let's dive in. Question number 1, where do you live? I live south of Detroit in Michigan. And I've been here for 5 years, because 1 year I lived in the UP, way up top in the UP. But prior to that, I was born in Mississippi and raised in Louisiana in a suburb of New Orleans. So huge culture shock going from New Orleans to the UP for a year. Prior to living in the UP, I saw a little bit of snow because my husband lived in Michigan and I'd fly up to visit him when we were dating. And then Christmas Day of my freshman or sophomore year in high school, it actually snowed, real snow, in Louisiana. And I still have pictures of it. I had to wear my dad's gloves, and I think I may have been in my dad's coat too, because I don't think I actually owned any gloves that were waterproof and suitable for playing in the snow. It was just the dusting and it melted later that day, but I mean, like, talk about amazing timing, Christmas Day. So yeah, I live just south of Detroit. What do I do for a living? I was a teacher for 8 years. That's what my initial degree was in. I taught kindergarten through 4th grade. I did 4 years in kindergarten. Student taught 1st grade, taught a year in 2nd grade, 2 years in 3rd grade, and a year in 4th grade. But lower elementary definitely has my heart. So kindergarten and 1st grade. And then while I was teaching, I got my master's in library and information science, because I would love to be a children's librarian, but those jobs are super hard to come by. And then I didn't really, there's not really a lot of job openings in the library market. So I continued to teach, and then kind of jumping ahead, question number 3 is, do you have any kids? I do. I have a 16-month-old daughter. And so when I was in labor with her, I had a phenomenal nurse. And so I started thinking about nursing, and then 3 weeks ago took the leap. So I am now a full-time nursing student. I do a tiny bit of tutoring on the sides, but yeah. So do I have any pets? I do. I have a black lab German Shepherd dog. She's 6 years old. Her name is Crew. She's adorable. She was, you know, the princess until the baby came along, and now that the baby's here, she really only gets loving and attention nap time and bedtime. I know, as bad as that is, she went from being walked multiple times a day to like occasionally getting a walk now, and I feel really, really bad about it. But she is a great sport. She's so good with the baby. And we adore her. We want to get another dog because she needs a companion, but my husband wants to wait a little bit until the baby's a little older. So yeah. Do I have any other hobbies? Yes, I do. Can you read my shirt? My sweatshirt? Quilter. I am first and foremost a quilter. I've been quilting for, I think, 11 years, since my sophomore year in high school. Prior to that, I mean, I grew up, my mom and my grandmother have always quilted, and I grew up around that. But prior to my sophomore year in college, I'm sorry, did I say high school? I meant college. Prior to my sophomore year in college, I always just thought it was like an old mama type thing, and I wasn't interested in it. And then I decided I wanted to make a quilt to decorate my bedroom and my apartment. So I made one, and I haven't looked back since. And then I didn't get into cross-stitching until 2018, but I didn't really pick it up until about 6 months ago. Prior to having the baby, I used to read, but now that I am in nursing school, have a toddler, yeah, there's just no time for reading anymore. But I do read to her, but it's the same book over and over and over and over again. So, my favorite movie, hands down, You've Got Mail. Absolutely. And now that I live in Michigan and we actually have seasons and I get to enjoy fall for a couple months every year, I watch You've Got Mail every single fall, multiple times. I think I own like 2 or 3 copies of it. I also purchased the like the stream, the online version from Amazon. I have 2 DVDs, I believe. Or maybe one belongs to my sister. Sorry. But yeah, so I love Meg Ryan. Oh, I love her. I love Meg Ryan pre-plastic surgery now. And she was really cute. Favorite TV show. I don't really watch a lot of TV. My husband and I think, are like the typical millennials, so we don't subscribe to cable. We have Netflix and Hulu, and he streams football for us from his computer. We try to find a show to watch together, and so right now that show is Breaking Bad. He has seen, I believe, all episodes from all seasons, but we just started watching it from the beginning together, and I've never seen it. So we're on season 1, episode like 7 or 8. And if you're familiar with Malcolm in the Middle, the dad from Malcolm in the Middle is the main character in this show. So it's really neat to see him because they are quite different. There are similarities between the characters, but they are quite different. So that's what we're watching right now. But if it's just me, it's going to be Flosstube one. Favorite book. Oh, okay. So I am not a reader that reads a book over. If I've read it, I'm like a one and done reader. Unless it's either A, Summer of the Monkeys, or B, Where the Red Fern Grows. I was read, I think, both of those in 6th grade by my teacher. After recess, we'd come in, and for 15 minutes every day, while we just kind of cooled off and calmed down, she would read, and she read those 2 books to us, and I absolutely love them. I've read both of those multiple times. So those are my 2 favorites. Favorite music. So my favorite type of music, and this is obviously because I grew up in Louisiana, is jazz, Cajun, and Zydeco music. And I think also part of that has to do with anytime you go to a festival or a fair down there, that's the kind of music you hear. So especially now that I live in Detroit, I listen to a lot of that type of music because it reminds me of where I grew up. And I love, if you're into that, you should look up WWOZ because I listen live online a lot to them. And then last question, what word best describes you? And you know they put this question last because if it was first, no one would actually do any of the other questions, but one word to describe me. Can I do creative? It's kind of a cop-out because this is Flosstube, so, but I don't know. I am creative. Even before I was quilting, I did rock polishing. I had a tumbler. My dad and I were big into that. I'd make little, it was always purple amethyst, and I'd tumble them from these rough looking things into these shiny little jewels, gems, and, you know, epoxy them onto little necklaces and bracelets, and then just always drawing and gluing arts and crafts. So yeah, so creative is what I would use to describe me. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is, so like I said, I'm a quilter, so I'm going to do the first part of my video all Flosstube, all cross stitch, and then the second part will be quilting, like Elizabeth Ann does, and then Olivia from Pumpkin Hollow Quilts. So if you don't like the quilting part, you can just, you know, not watch it. So like I said, I started quilting, cross stitching in 2018, and I worked on a Mill Hill kit that I have here. So I'm going to show you that. It is not done. It is so close to being done that I really just need to buckle down and do it. It is Button and Beads Winter Wonderland. Oops, there's a glare. And it has this cute little bunny rabbit button. And this is where it is at right now. So I'm just in the process of adding the beads and then I'll be done. So I did all the beads on this tree and I did some of the beads over here. And I really like it, and I want to frame it, and I think it's going to look really cute. Especially because I live in Michigan and we get snow. But, yeah. So my goal for that one is to finish winter 2021. So not like January, February, but November, December. So that's my goal with that one. I have also... Well, before 2018, I started my husband a cross-stitch stocking because I think those are gorgeous and I really want to make now 3 of them. But man, do they take a long time. You have to have some stamina for that. And I do not have stamina. So let me show you the Christmas stockings. Okay. So this is the first one I started. First, meaning I started more than one. This one is a, oh, I thought it was dimensions. Maybe it's not dimensions. I don't know. This is what it should look like when it's done. And my husband's name is Joseph, so I just put Joseph up there. So this is what it should look like. This is what it looks like currently. So you can see I did the outline of most of the house, and I did a bunch of the snow on top of the roof line, but that is it. Honestly, I think I probably just got bored with it. I mean, the stitches look nice, so maybe I'll pick it up one day. I don't know, but if I do, that one day is not going to be anytime soon, because I have started a cross-stitch stocking for my daughter. So this past Christmas was her second Christmas. First Christmas, she didn't have a stocking. This Christmas, she did have a stocking, but it was not a cross-stitch stocking. It was a quilted stocking. I whipped up 3 quilted Christmas stockings this year because, look, my husband and I have been married for 6 years and we have never had Christmas stockings. And I decided this poor baby cannot go another Christmas without a Christmas stocking. And you know it was not about to be a cross-stitch stocking because there's no way that would ever get finished. So I did quilted stockings. I actually picked up all the fabric and the pattern last year and just never got around to it because I did have an infant. Christmas of 2019. My daughter was born in September, so yeah, we were just making it through daily life. But here is my daughter's Christmas stocking. So you'll see a theme here. So we all have white stockings. I did the quilting different for each one, but they're all straight line quilted. And then we all have different like farmhousey plaid bows on our Christmas stockings. And then, I don't know if you can see that, but I embroidered her name. Not very well, but it's done. Her name is Della, with a D, not a B, Della. And then my husband's, so I tried my best to, oh wait. So here is the quilting on hers. I don't know if you can see, it's just diagonal straight lines, fairly evenly spaced. And then for my husband's, I tried to make a quilted stocking with a bow as masculine as possible. So I went with black and white check for the bow. And then his name is Joseph, so that's embroidered there. And then for his quilting, his is diagonal cross hatching. And then for mine, my favorite color is green, so I went with a green plaid bow. And there's my name. Megan with an H. Could never find things, little name keychains growing up because there was always Megan with no H and I'm Megan with an H. And then I did mine last. So I did my daughter's first and then my husband's and then mine. And I was running out of ideas for straight line quilting. So I just literally did straight lines up and down, randomly spaced because it's faster. And I ended up loving my quilting the most. I think it's the most modern of the 3, and I really like that. I like this patch right here where they're so close together the best, I think. So, and then let's just address the elephant in the room. I don't know if you noticed about my fingernail. Okay, so like, I don't know, a month ago, 2 months ago, I was getting out of my car in the parking lot and somehow slammed the door on my own finger. I just did not pull my finger out of the way in time. And I looked down, it was immediately, I mean, there was blood under the fingernail immediately. And so I was in the parking lot at Target, so I went to Target, and I'm a grown woman, and I'm doing my best not to cry, but I eventually, I mean, I ended up tearing up because it hurt so bad. I went to customer service, and one of the guys was really sweet and got me some ice, and I just walked around Target with a big old pack of ice on my finger, and I'm just waiting for it to fall off, but I really don't want it to fall off. But my husband said it's going to, and one of my nursing instructors said it's going to, and that just freaks me out. So that's what's going on with my finger now. So if you see it, now you know why. Okay, so we did my husband's cross stitch stocking. So here's what I started one for my daughter because I was like, you know what? If I do a cross stitch Christmas stocking and I only end up getting one done in my lifetime, it has to be my daughter's. So I searched online for a pattern and I was really inspired by Nell from Little Yellow House Crafts. I think it's her channel. Or Little Yellow House Crafts, I think is what it is. She was doing her youngest son's cross stitch Christmas stocking. Jeez, I can't talk today. And I was like, you know what, I can do that. So she was doing a Dimensions Gold kit, so I went online and looked, and I found this one that I absolutely love. It is Santa. And I just love just the detail and the definition in his beard and the background. It's just like a classic design. This is something that I don't think will ever go out of style. It's called the Secret Santa Stocking. So if you're looking for it, that's what it should look like. And this is my itty bitty teeny tiny start. So this is going to be part of Santa's beard. And I am using, I don't even know what these things are called. That's how new I am. This stand thing, this is my mom's. I borrowed it infinitely. She didn't know that at the time, but I borrowed it for my husband's stocking, which was started like, I may have started that in 2014 when we got married. So I've had this a long time. And I took my husband's off, my daughter's on, and there's where it is. So I will update you in future videos with that once I make progress on it. But that hasn't been touched since like early December. Okay, Mandy. Mandy's my sister. Mandy, if you are watching, this is where you log off because the rest of the stuff is, not all of it, but some of it's got secret stuff. So adios, Mandy. Okay, guys. So Mandy is my sister, like I just mentioned. She's younger than me. We are just under 2 years apart, and she is pregnant and due with her first. It's a little boy, late April. So first week of March, I'm flying down to Louisiana to host her baby shower. And the nursery theme is woodland animals, so we're just going to tie that over into the baby shower. And so I figured it would be fun to cross-stitch something for the baby shower and somehow incorporate it into decorations. So what I decided to do was I went on Etsy and I just searched, you know, baby woodland animals or woodland animals, and I came across this Etsy shop called The Stitch Patterns. And she had a bundle of 6, 7, 8 baby woodland animals, and they are adorable, and it was really reasonably priced, especially because I got it on sale. So I don't think I even paid maybe more than $8 for all these, maybe 10. So I'm going to show you what they should look like when they're done, and then I'll show you the ones that I've finished and started on. So I think this might be the one I do next. The baby owl. Adorable. And a bear. This bear reminds me of some animated Disney or Pixar movie, but I can't figure out which one. There's a wolf. There is, I don't know if this is a porcupine or a hedgehog. I'm gonna go with porcupine, but if there's any like hedgehog parents or experts out there, feel free to correct me. The rabbit. I think this would be actually really cute for an Easter decoration. I might do that. And it would be so easy to add the word, you know, Easter or spring or some little carrots or something. So that's a good idea, because I will not be cross-stitching that one for the baby shower. And then the fox. And there's one more, which is a deer, and that's the one that I did that one first. So I don't know, I must have just thrown away the cover for that one. But here's the little deer. It is adorable. I love it. I just want to like smooch its little face. It's the cutest thing ever. I did this, oh man. I did this on 28 count vintage smoky white, I believe, linen, and it's adorable. I love it. So I've never finished a cross stitch piece before because this is my first ever finished. I've never fully finished. This is my first ever finished cross stitch piece. So my sister hopefully will be so impressed. But what I was thinking for the finishing for these is I wanted to, so the nursery is a navy blue color. All the walls are like a darker navy blue color. And I thought that if I finish this in a hoop, either like a natural wood color or a dark wood color, they would be really cute hanging up in the nursery after the shower. So I think that's what I'm going to do, but I'm just going to bring all the ones that I get done down with me to Louisiana so that my mom can help me. I know those of you that are seasoned are probably laughing at me right now because putting it in a hoop is super simple, and I could put it in the hoop, but I don't know about the backing or finishing it. And I've heard a lot about Vanna Pfeiffer, so listen, if I wasn't in nursing school, I'd probably just, you know, watch Vanna or Google it and do it myself, but it would take a lot less time for my mom to do it. So I'm going to bring these down, have my mom finish them in a hoop, and then just display them around the baby shower, and I'll be sure to take some pictures and put those in my next Flosstube video. So yeah, Little Baby Deer is done. The next one I'm working on is the raccoon, which is this little guy, or as I like to call them, trash bandits. One time, we were going out to eat at a restaurant, a seafood restaurant with my grandparents, my mom, my dad, and my sister and I. And we pull up and there's, in the parking lot against the fence, there was a big, you know, just the big metal trash dumpsters. And the lights are on, and what do you know? Underneath the trash can, all we see are these big old eyes. There was a whole family of them living under there. Yeah, I don't know. I guess that may, I don't know. I just remember that memory so vividly. So here's my little guy. Here's my little trash bandit. You can see, so I did the ears. I don't know if you can tell here, but I did some of the nose. It's in white. So yeah, I would love to work on this every single day, but just between, you know, with nursing school, there's, I don't know, not a lot of free time, and then I have to decide between quilting and cross stitching. When quilting updates I can post on Instagram, cross stitch updates I cannot because they're for the baby shower. And it's a surprise, my sister doesn't know I'm doing it, so I tend to do quilting. And I'm pattern testing right now. I'm actually pattern testing the Power Spool quilt. So let's see if I can back up a little bit here. Ooh, can you see that? So it's the Power Spool quilt by Allison Ramsing, and I'm pattern testing it for her, and it's due like February 3rd. Today is December 29th, so like Tuesday? No, Wednesday? I don't know, very soon. So I've been spending a lot of my time working on this, and I am so proud to say that everything in this quilt has come from my scraps. Even the white, I had enough white. It was two different kinds of whites, but as far as I could see, there was no difference. So I used both of them, but they all came from my scraps. So I'm really excited to see that one come together. But if you're on Instagram, you can follow me. My Instagram handle is the Gem Stitchery. J, like Gem is J-E-M, because those are my initials but backwards. So I was trying to get a little clever there, but I'll link it below in the description box. And then this is the baby quilt that I'm working on for my sister, for my nephew. So she knows that I'm doing a baby quilt for her. Like, she'll probably get 7 baby quilts just like I did for my daughter, because in New Orleans we're part of a quilt group, and they all make baby quilts for all the babies, which is amazing. I love it. My daughter has a quilt ladder in her bedroom. She is 16 months and she's got a full quilt ladder. And I've been quilting for 11 years and I don't have a quilt ladder. And even if I did, it wouldn't be full, because I think I've only kept like 5 quilts I've made. Anyway, so my sister knows that I'm making my nephew a quilt. She even knows the pattern because I've designed 2 patterns so far, and I just really like drawing them. So I designed this pattern, but I haven't written up any of the instructions, but I think it's going to be my next pattern that I publish. So she picked out the pattern. She just doesn't know any of the fabrics. So last night I had enough time. I cleaned my floors the night before, you know, vacuumed and mopped, and so it's perfect time for basting. So last night I was on the floor basting, and here is what it looks like so far. So I know you can't see it, but it's asymmetrical, so there's more background fabric on this side than there is on that side. And my absolute favorite fabric, well, I have two. One of them are these little sheeps. All of this is the panorama line from Cotton and Steel. It's a little old, but those sheeps are absolutely adorable. And then this green, like screen printed looking design, because that green, that exact shade of green is my favorite color, like a Kelly green. And then this is the backing. So yeah, so my plans between this video and the next video are to, one, completely piece the top of the power spool quilt. Then it's going in the WIP pile, because I have, who even knows, probably 10 quilt tops in the WIP pile. A lot of them are patterns I've tested. Then after that, so that's going to get done this weekend, then I'm going to just split my time between quilting the baby quilt and working on the baby woodland animals, the cross-stitch animals for the baby shower. And when push comes to shove, it'll be the quilt first, because the cross-stitch I can take with me and do in Louisiana. And it's not a priority, like it doesn't have to get done. However many I get done for the shower. The quilt has to be done before I fly down. And I fly down the last Friday in February, whatever that is, like the 27th, 28th? 28th, I think. No, 27th. Anyway, so that's what I'm going to be working on for this next month. I think my next video, I would love to be able to do videos every 2 weeks, but just with nursing school, I don't think I would have enough progress to show you every 2 weeks. So we're going to shoot for once a month. And then the next video will either come out the very end of February or like middle March, because I am flying down for that first week in March, so I won't be able to do a video then. But if you stuck around this long, awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Check the description box for the link to my Instagram. If you have any questions or any ideas for videos, list them in the comments. And until next time, bye guys.